to another video. It is me, Desiree, and today I want to talk about all of the Grippy primers that are making their way into the drugstore. I've been seeing them come out, I'm buying them all up, and I just want to talk about them. This isn't necessarily going to be a ranking video, but I'm going to do a, start with my favorite and end with my least favorite. So let's start with my favorite one, and it's from CoverGirl. CoverGirl killed it with their primer line. I don't love them all, but two of them I love, including this one. So this is the Sticky Grip primer. They came out with this whole line of primers last year. I bought this one and I wasn't expecting to love it because the most experience I have with Grippy primers at the drugstore is this one from e.l.f, their OG Power Grip primer. And this one is very sticky, thick, hard to spread, very inelegant formula. And I wasn't expecting a lot from other Grippy primers because that's the only one I really have experience with. Well, that one and the one from Milk Makeup. This one is so good. If you only have experience with the one from e.l.f. and maybe you like the effects of it, you like how it prolongs your makeup, but you hate the formula and you hate putting it on, try pretty much any of the other ones I'm going to talk about today because all of the ones that have been coming out are so much better than the one from e.l.f. as far as formula goes and the way they spread and everything. Grippy primers have come a long way. You don't need to settle for e.l.f. Grippy primer to make your makeup last. Do you know what I mean? Does that mean? Anyway, this one is amazing. I'll put all the prices here on the screen as well. It does come in a little pump bottle and it is 0.81 fluid ounces. So I do one pump of this and one pump is exactly enough to get on your whole face. It's not too much, it's not too little, it's just right. It spreads really easily and it's really thin. Like, see how easy it spreads? It's not like pulling and tugging. And you don't need to have like a moisturized face or anything to put this on. It will spread really nicely. Doesn't have any scent whatsoever. And as it starts to dry, you'll feel it stay tacky. It's not sticky. It's not, I was gonna say grippy, but obviously it's a little grippy, but it's not sticky. It's just a little bit tacky. Like you could feel like, I don't know, like you just put your skincare on and it hasn't completely sunk in yet, but it has a little bit of attack to it. Makeup goes on top of this so well. I feel like this really does prolong your makeup, at least it does for me. This one does say to let it sit for 1 minute before you put your makeup on top, to let it activate, I guess, and get that grippy texture. Because when you're first putting it on, it'll feel like you're just putting on a moisturizing primer, but as it starts drying is when you feel the tackiness start to develop. And it's not too much. It's not super sticky where you feel like you're gonna put makeup on and it's gonna stick right there. Makeup blends super nice on top of this. I haven't had any issues with this as far as it pilling or makeup not going on well on top of it or it feeling like it's too heavy. It's so thin and nice to spread. One pump is the perfect amount. I absolutely love this. I would recommend this over any of them here just because I just love it. I love the price, the amount you get, the pump, the airless pump is amazing. And I just like the brand, you know, cruelty free, all that kind of stuff. And I like it. I really, really love this one a lot. Definitely my #1 favorite of all the ones we're going to talk about today. So let's talk about all the other ones and we'll end with my least favorite. Spoiler alert. So another one that I bought is this one from NYX. This is the Face Glue Gripping Primer. And this is the newest, obviously all of these are new to me, but this is like my newest purchase and the one I was not expecting much from at all. I just wasn't expecting a whole lot because of the packaging, and I bought the Face Glue setting spray and I find this to be so drying on my skin. Although it does work, it's drying. And I tried this first, so when I went for this, I was like, I just wasn't expecting anything from it, but you know what? This is a lot better than I was expecting. I mean, for one, the packaging, A+ home run here. Very just cutesy and kitschy. And of course it opens up just like a glue bottle. But I was expecting this to be thick and pasty like a glue because of the packaging. But it's like a nice moisturizer. It feels so good. And it does come out white, but of course it doesn't dry that way. It's really, really smooth, really easy to spread across the skin. Same kind of effect as the one from CoverGirl. I want to say this one said to wait for a minute as well. No, it didn't. One of the other ones does. This one didn't have any directions and I peeled off the label to see if there was anything, but it didn't say anything about letting it wait. But I've just kind of gotten into the habit of letting it wait at least a minute before putting makeup on top. This one also, it feels like a nice moisturizing primer when you put it on. Spreads so nice and so smooth. You don't need a lot of it, but I've gotten used to the amount that comes out of the CoverGirl one, so I try to use that same amount for each of these primers. Same thing with this one. It feels really good when you're putting it on, and as it sits for at least a minute, the tackiness will start to develop. And same thing as CoverGirl. It's really just like a nice light tackiness. It's not grippy. I guess I don't want to keep saying it's not grippy because it is grippy. It wants to hold on to your makeup, but it's not sticky. It's not sticky. It's just a little tacky, just enough so you know it's a grippy primer, but it doesn't feel like one. It's super elegant feeling, and I do feel like this does prolong the look of my makeup, prolong the longevity of my makeup, and I really like this, and I'm shocked how much I like this one. I would say I would still pick CoverGirl over this just because I have a love for that one, maybe because I've loved it longer, but I like this one a lot too. When I finish it up, I'll probably just get my fill and be like, okay, I'll move on to something else. But I like this. I enjoy this one quite a bit, and I was not expecting to. It's so smooth and nice and light. Just feels really good on the skin, not heavy, plays well with your other products. It doesn't pill. A+ home run from NYX. Really like that one. Okay, let's move on to one that I was not expecting to come out. This is from Neutrogena. It's their Hydrating Grip Primer. It's part of their Hydro Boost line, and it has hyaluronic acid. This is the one that's said to wait 30 seconds before you put makeup on top of this. So this one is in a nice little squeezy tube. You do get 1 full ounce in here. And with the NYX one, you get 1.18 ounces. So actually you get more in both of those than with the CoverGirl one. You don't even get a full ounce in this one. Anyway, just throwing that out there. This one is in a squeezy tube, which I guess is okay. I don't know, I just like the pump style because you can control how much you're getting and every time you get the same amount. This one does come out in a clear gel. As you saw, the NYX one is more of like a nice moisturizing cream. But this one is a gel. This one has a little bit more of, it feels like you're putting on a gel primer as opposed to like a moisturizer kind of thing. But it feels exactly the same as CoverGirl. Like it's so smooth and lightweight. It feels like you're just putting on a nice hydrating primer, but as it sits, it starts to develop the tack. All of these are very, very similar in their performance. They just have a different delivery system. Maybe they look different and stuff. But all of these also are fragrance-free, at least the ones so far that I've been talking about. Neutrogena feels really good. I have literally nothing bad to say about it. It's an awesome primer. So this one, a lot lighter on the grippy department. Like it's a whisper of tackiness. Like it's barely there. So of all the ones I'm going to talk about today, this one definitely has the least grippiness to it, the least amount of tack, but it's there. It's a little bit, it helps prolong the makeup, you know, it works just fine, but it's not as super long wearing. It's not as, no, that's, what am I trying to say? It doesn't really like heavy duty grip primer like the other ones, you know? It's nice, it's good. I don't want to say it's not my favorite, but the grippiness is very, very light. Like some of these other ones, you could really tell it's gripping. This one is like, ooh, grippy, you know what I mean? But I think that works well with Neutrogena's line because they're not really like the heavy duty longevity brand, you know, they don't really market themselves that way. So I think this works well for Neutrogena and with their line, and it kind of goes with their whole thing they got going on. Let's talk about Maybelline. This is the one I put on today. So theirs is in a serum bottle. It's called the Grippy Serum. And this one was one I was so excited to find. I just kind of saw it one day and I was like, I didn't even know that was coming out. This one also contains 2% niacinamide, and it is in a dropper style bottle, which I don't love because I just love the pump style because you get an exact amount every single time. And with this one, the bottle, like I'm not even squeezing the pipette and it drips out without any squeezing of the thing. Like it's just gonna go everywhere. But it's not messy, but just a heads up, when you pull it out of the bottle, it's already gonna be coming out of the thing, and I'm not even squeezing it. It's just pouring out of there. So I feel like they could have just made this a pump instead of that because I do get way too much every single time of this. But even then, having used too much, it's not too much on my skin. It still sinks in really, really nice. So let's do, of course, this time I pulled it out and it didn't even drip out or anything. I tend to just get a little blob, like maybe a dime-sized amount. It's a very, very runny serum, really thin, but you can tell it's very substantial and it does dry very fast. This is one I have to work with very, very quickly on my skin because it starts drying and sinking in and getting tacky and thick very quickly. That being said, once I get it on, it feels fine. I do wait about a minute again for this one. I don't remember if this one said to wait at all. No, it does not. It just says extends makeup wear for up to 24 hours. This one, I do have to work very fast with this one. I have to spread it really quickly because it dries very fast. Like right away, spread it as fast as I can because you can feel it drying, getting really thick and drying down. So work a little quickly with this one, but it feels really nice. Again, it's just nice. A little bit of moisture, a little bit of hydration, a lot of grip. This one has a lot of tackiness to it. So Neutrogena is like bottom of the totem pole. This one's definitely up there in the tackiness and the grippiness department, but it doesn't interfere with any of my other products. I have a lot of skincare on. I got sunscreen on. I put on this blob of this stuff, spread it on really fast. It doesn't pill. It doesn't make anything look weird. That is one of the pros to all of these primers. Not one of them pills or feels like it's too heavy or it's too much or anything. They all sink in nice. They just feel a little bit different on the skin and kind of, some of them are more elegant than others. This one is fine. I wish they had a pump on it and I wish it didn't dry down so fast, but that's not going to keep me from using it. I still really enjoy this one. I put it on today and it does have a little bit of an iridescence to it. It looks like some mica floating around in there, but I don't notice it on my skin whatsoever. It doesn't add like a glowy tint to my skin or a glowy highlighter kind of look to it at all. I like this one. The only thing I was concerned with, but then I found like I have all these primers, I'm not going to use this one every single day, is the niacinamide. Because I already use a 10% niacinamide serum on my skin every single day. Is it 10 or is it 15? No, it's 10%. So adding another 2% niacinamide, I thought that'd be a little much for my skin, but I don't use this every single day, and even then, it's been fine for me. I haven't had any irritation or like sensitivity or anything like that, but just a heads up, it does have the 2% niacinamide added in there. And then after we talk about that, we're gonna talk about the one from, if I can find it, we only have two left. We got my two kind of least favorite ones here. So Wet n Wild also came out with the Grippy primer in the same kind of serum style, but they were able to put a pump on their bottle. Why couldn't Maybelline put a pump on this? It's just a little too runny to have a pipette, you know? Anyway, theirs is called Clingy, and I love that name. There's something about that word clingy that I just love. So this is the Clingy Serum Primer. It's part of their Bare Focus line. And this one you do get 0.9 fluid ounces. How much do you get with this one? 1 full ounce in the Maybelline. Let's do on this side. With this one too, I only do one pump. And this one is kind of tied for me as far as like least favorite texture. It is a lot thicker of a serum, and this one dries so fast, way faster than the Maybelline one. And it is a lot thicker. It feels very similar to the one from e.l.f, but not as sticky. Like the one from e.l.f, I feel is just a little much. This one is sticky. It's a sticky primer. You could feel that it's really sticky on your face. It dries very, very quickly. It's probably one of the most inelegant of the formulas, but then again, it's also the cheapest of all of them. Not to say you can't have an elegant formula just because you're cheap. I'm just telling you my experience. This one is sticky. Like I almost feel like I'm needing to like pull my fingers off of my skin. It's sticky. But that being said, makeup blends on top of it just fine. It blends really nicely, and I feel like it has the same effect as all of these Grippy primers. It's just the formula and what you kind of like to put on your skin. This one might not be everybody's favorite. It is one of my least favorite just as far as user experience goes because it dries down so incredibly fast. I actually get a little bit and put it here, get a little bit more, put it here. I can't just spread it all around at once because by the time I do this part, this is dry and then I'm like dragging it across my skin. But it works. It helps help with the longevity of your makeup. It works as a Grippy primer. It just doesn't have the best formula. But then again, it's also the cheapest one. So if you're just looking for a Grippy primer at a cheap price, this is a nice one. It still also does everything the other ones do. This one has a little bit of a cloudy texture, but I couldn't tell a cloudy look to it, but I couldn't tell why. It doesn't look bad or anything because I thought maybe it's doing something similar like Maybelline, like it might have some iridescence to it, but I don't know. I like it. It's just the formula is very inelegant and not my favorite to want to use. It's the one I've also used the least of all of these. So let's end. I did talk about all of them, right? Okay, we're gonna end with my least favorite. This is the one from e.l.f. This is their Power Grip Primer, their OG primer. I saw their like branding updated. Now they call it the OG primer. I have not tried the one with niacinamide. Apparently that one's way better. And every video I've seen of people talking about the primers, everyone seems to prefer that one. I haven't tried it though, so I can't compare it. But this one here is just so grippy. It's grippy, it's sticky, it's tacky, it's thick, it's hard to spread. It's just not the best formula. Of all the primers, like this one seems so far away because of how much better these ones are. Even the Wet n Wild one I like better than this one because the Grippy primer technology has come such a long way, you know? I think this one is just, like even pumping it out, it's just so thick. It's thick, it's sticky, it's paste-like, it's jelly, it's tacky, it dries extremely quickly when you're trying to spread it on your skin. It works. It works as a primer, I guess. I don't know. I don't feel like this one holds up as well when there's been so much coming out that I think is better. Now that I look back on this, I'm like, ugh, why did we ever like this? I mean, I don't know. I never really truly loved it, but I pull it out every now and then just to re-experience it, and it's just not my favorite. It's thick. It's just hard to spread. I don't feel like makeup lasts all that much longer on top of this. Like I wore it again yesterday and I was like, stuff breaking down around my face. I don't know, for 10, I think it's 10 bucks. I would say spend a few extra dollars. Go for CoverGirl, go for NYX, go for the Wet n Wild even. Maybelline's good if you want something just lightweight, Neutrogena. But this one, it's just not my favorite. I mean, I don't know, I just don't really enjoy it. I don't enjoy the experience of using it at all in comparison to all these other ones. Even on its own, I don't appreciate the experience all that much. But anyway, that is it. Those are all the Grippy primers I've been trying. I pretty much like all of them except the one from e.l.f. And then of course the one from Wet n Wild doesn't have the best user experience or texture for my preferences. But you can't really go wrong with the Grippy primer, especially where they've all been going. I haven't tried the one from Essence. I don't think I need to at this point. I have so many Grippy primers to work through. But I've been enjoying a Grippy primer lately. I never used to because this was our only option at the drugstore for a long time. But they've come a long way and you gotta try one out. Let me know if you've tried any of these Grippy primers and what your experience has been. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe so you don't miss my next one, and I will see you later in another video. Goodbye.